just made the video. Goodness gracious, I can't believe you.
Rocky Mountain elk. From the first day I bought a bow, I've always had dreams of going on an elk hunt. In my mind, these animals just shouldn't exist. They scream like the T-Rex from Jurassic Park, and their antlers resemble something torn from the pages of The Lord of the Rings. They are true spectacles of nature. So if somebody were to ask you if you'd drive 20 hours one way during a worldwide pandemic towards some of the most devastating wildfires in recorded history just to catch a glimpse of these guys, how would you answer? I think you can guess mine.
Well, we finally made it. You can stay out here.
I'm gonna go in.
Alright, so been a while since I've done one of these. Made it out to our elk hunting destination. It was a little bit of a challenge this time. Yeah, so we're gonna be here for the next 2 weeks chasing elk. I do have a bear tag and a cougar tag if we are so fortunate. So got into town and realized that we would have to go to a Oregon Fish and Wildlife Department to actually buy tags. So ended up having to drive about an hour away this morning, drove back, and then went out for our first afternoon elk hunt. Uneventful. Did get to see some pretty cool country, obviously. Everything's beautiful here, even through all the smoke and the soot and everything. So definitely hard on my Missouri asthmatic lungs, but definitely worth it. But yeah, it's been a long time coming. Been trying to work on this stuff for a while, and just everything that's going on kind of making it hard to do. So I'm out here with my buddy Steven, and we're actually bunked up at a private ranch, which is awesome. So we're bunked up with 3 other guys from California. I think the Ventura area. I don't know where that's at. So if I seem bummed out, it's not because I'm bummed out. It's because I can barely breathe after all of that hiking that we did. I think we were right around 5,000 to 6,000 feet in elevation, which would kick my ass anyway. But then with all the smoke in the air, it really took a number on my lungs. So I am whooped. Killed a rattlesnake yesterday with my bow. It was pretty cool. Not when we almost stepped on it, but
hey. Yeah, I mean, you're a little.
I kind of want it to just once.
No.
And then
yeah.
and then we'll just like be done playing. But I'm gonna go cook some dinner and hopefully kill an elk tomorrow. So see you guys. Well, we made it to day 2 and immediately ran into a bunch of elk. Spooked a couple cows, if I'm being honest. But been calling back and forth to a bull. What I think is a bull. I don't know, it might be a hunter, but seem to be getting farther away though, so kinda in this open little meadow. I think we got this bull up to the hill, so I'm about 70 yards behind Steve. Trying to give some cow calls. Trying to get some bugles. He's chuckling up there. So I'm hoping that he kind of swings downwind, right between me and Steve, trying to get my wind. And then Steve can get a shot.
After a mostly uneventful first few days, we started getting into the elk, but we didn't come up with much in the way of shot opportunities. Not to be discouraged by our inability to close the distance, and fueled by the bugling elk that seemed to surround us, we soon found ourselves calling to multiple elk that seemed to be responding from all around. From years of podcasts, forums, and endless YouTube videos, I can confidently say that I did my homework on this hunt. But there was one prevailing thought, a little voice in the back of my mind screaming into a bullhorn. Fake it till you make it.
I almost had an aneurysm now.
I'd just like to state for the record that I have no idea what I'm doing, but I hope it works out. So my basic strategy is whatever they do, just do my best to do that back to them. See if that works.
Good plan, Jake. It's a great plan.
After gaining our bearings and picking our jaws up off the ground, Steve and I decided to throw our hats in the ring with the California boys. This consisted of Dylan and his dad Henry, and Lee, our ace in the hole. He had more elk hunting experience than the rest of us combined. So when I say it got a little western, it's not only geographically accurate, it turned out to be a hell of a lot of fun. So this bull definitely read the script, but must got a little mixed up with his delivery. He was highly receptive to our calls and came in on a string. Only thing is, he was about 80 yards further to my right than I thought he was going to end up. I had positioned Dylan in such a way that I figured the elk just had to come to the left side of this brush pile we were behind. As it turns out, he came to the right. A classic case of zigging when he should have zagged. At this point, I figured that this bull would just continue to move on from us, but for whatever reason, he just kept hanging up on our cow calls. At this point, Dylan positioned himself on the initial path of the bull. Not to be outdone, he threw us for one final loop. He came within 50 yards of the initial tree that Dylan had set up on. And then he meandered out of our lives forever. With the smoke and soot clouding the skies, there was a surreal glow that surrounded the beginning of the trip. When you couple that with these rutted up fairy tale creatures bugling all around, the first few days felt like a dream. I feel like a common thread through all these hunts is learning something new. This trip was no exception, but there was one key difference. I was hunting with a bunch of guys I hardly knew. It was kind of cool being in this unfamiliar position. I have always had mentors and friends leading the way, and in a weird way, most of my hunts have felt more like guided hunts than me going out there and conquering some sort of wilderness. At the very least, I always knew that I had a safety net when stuff got hairy. But now here I was in this kind of lead role as Steven didn't have a lot of Western hunting experience compared to my extremely limited experience. Having said that, it was awesome to be able to lean on Lee's general knowledge of the land as well as his experience hunting on that land. I guess not everybody from California is an alien. We learned a lot those first few days. Some lessons were harder than others, and more times than I'd like to admit, we screwed the pooch. And as much as it sucks missing out on those opportunities, at times I think knowing what not to do can be more valuable than getting everything right the first go around. And I don't know about that last part, but it's been helping me sleep at night, so I'm going to go with it. Soon the rains came and smoke started to dissipate, and as our encounters grew, I'd have to say that this whole trip was panning out almost exactly as I'd planned, short of one small